But when you try to board a plane to attend the awards ceremony in New York, you're told by immigration authorities in your country that you are not allowed to travel there. That's exactly what happened to Dr. Mahrng Baloch, who was included in the Time 100 Next list of 2024. Mahrng is a human rights activist advocating for the rights of the Baloch community in Pakistan, which last time I checked is a close US ally. Last December, she led a march to Islamabad to protest the killings of Pakistan's Baloch minority, which included her father, also a prominent activist who was abducted in 2009 and sadly found dead 2 years later. The march made waves in bringing attention to the Baloch struggle and surely caught the attention of the Pakistani government. When Mahrng arrived at the airport to fly to the United States to attend the Time magazine ceremony in New York, she was prevented from traveling without any basis or explanation.
Because there was not a legitimate purpose to prevent my travel, just to silence the Baloch voices internationally, to conceal the 2 decades-long genocide and the human rights violation back in Balochistan.
Advocacy group Frontline Defenders strongly condemned the move by Pakistani authorities, calling it part of a pattern of abuse against Mahrng and Baloch human rights defenders in that country. Joining me now to discuss this is Dr. Mahrng Baloch. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Can you tell us what exactly happened at the airport as you're trying to leave Pakistan to go to New York to be recognized by Time magazine?
On 7th of October, I had a flight to board for New York. But when I arrived at immigration, they took my passport without any explanation. So I was there at the airport for more than 5 hours. I was running behind the FIA officials and asking them that why I've been prevented to take my flight. And the thing is that they didn't even answer me. After 2 hours, they gave me a vague explanation that your visa is not valid. Although I had a 5 years visa.
For the US? Your visa for the US they were trying to enforce?
Yes.
Even though you were invited by Time magazine? Wow.
Yes. They even didn't show my documents. I was searching for the in charge, but in charge himself got disappeared from the airport.
Mahrng, why do you believe they stopped you from traveling to the US?
Because I represent a cause, the Baloch national cause. So they prevented me to not reach New York, and also if I would reach New York, I will expose their war crimes in Balochistan. What their army is doing every day in Balochistan. They are abducting innocent people, and not confined to Balochistan, but also in the Punjab province. Like yesterday night, 3 Baloch students are abducted from their hostel in Lahore. It's become a norm in Balochistan to get abducted, even though to get mutilated and receive your beloved one bodies in return from the state forces.
Are you worried about your own safety now, given you've got all this prominence now? They know in Pakistan that people in America are inviting you to speak. They blocked you from traveling. Are you worried about your safety going forward in a place like Pakistan, where unfortunately there has been a lot of political violence, targeted killings?
Yes, Mehdi, I am. That makes me very depressed when we leave our home, and when we saw our mother, we say that we don't know when we will return or not. Like all of the human rights defenders, those who dare to speak against the state atrocities, their own lives and also their family lives are in danger. So I know at a point in my life, I get killed. And they don't fear anything. Doing this, law itself is supporting them to do this.
It is awful to hear what's happening there. Pakistan is a very close ally of the United States. What is your message to President Biden, the Biden administration, the US State Department? They must be aware of the fact that you were denied the right to travel to New York for this high-profile event. What's your message to the American government?
My message is very clear. Do not turn a blind eye to the sufferings and oppression in Balochistan. For years, our people have suffered enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and unimaginable human rights violations. And the US is the biggest ally. It is supporting Pakistan in many things, also in counterterrorism. But the aid they give in aimed counterterrorism that is used to, suppress Baloch masses. Our voices have been silenced by a powerful military state that controls the narrative, and we are not giving up. We are fighting for justice. And the issue of Balochistan is being concealed for decades because of what's happening in Afghanistan and what's happening, in the borders of Balochistan. And now the world is more focused on Gaza situation and Ukraine.
Yes.
But yes, you cannot say blind eye on Balochistan because our situation is getting worse day by day, year by year.
One last question for you.
And not a single person that belongs to Baloch community is safe. Okay.
One last question for you. You were supposed to be traveling to New York to be on Time's 100 Next list of 2024. What did it feel to you to get that recognition from a major Western media publication? What would your late father have made of your accomplishment on behalf of the Baloch cause?
That was the dream of my father. He saw a dream, and he has given me many teachings that you have to be a political activist. You have to stand with your people. So getting this recognition is empowering and humbling because it's not just for my personal milestone, but it's a dedication and a victory for the struggle of Baloch women, for our nation's collective fight against for peace and justice in our land. And I am very, proud of our struggle. We lack national recognition. All of the media, all of the state institutions are supporting the state propaganda, claiming that we are traitors, we are anti-state. But still, our people have lost the hope to struggle. So the international recognition is a hope for us because we are not being heard in our own land. All of the people are behind keep us silent. Those who try to speak get killed. Even though Balochistan is the region where most of the journalists are abducted and mutilated and killed. Prime target are activists, journalists, and those teachers here to speak for Baloch rights. So for me, being acknowledged by Time magazine is both a sign and a ray of hope that the world is beginning to pay attention to Balochistan's long neglected issue.
Well, we hope you keep up your hope and we hope you stay safe, and we thank you for taking time out for us. Dr. Mahrng Baloch, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's our show. Mehdi Unfiltered will be back